All right, we're now ready to add some color and get things going here a little bit. Typical color pencils, nothing too crazy. We like our medium, but we don't need it to be insanely complex. All right, so I did a little bit of everything. I have my roof here. If you want, again, like we did the ground, you can just put some lines that kind of mimic the angle of your roof. I don't usually do that a whole lot, but what I'm going to do is put my roof in and then pull these colors out so we can do some elaborate things. Now, there are a lot of different color pencils that you can use colors for. Standard 8's going to be fine. I'm going to do a mixture of brown and black and maybe some green as I do the roof here. Okay? And it's all going to be pretty much the same type thing. When you're coloring, you want your pencil to mimic this main angle. So you might have to bend your arm, but you're putting your slope in. Now, as I put color in, I'm not going to go all the way to the very edge of everything. If there's some white left showing, that is totally fine. But keep your strokes going in the angle of your primary roof line, that ridge line. Okay, so I'll bring those in. And I start light. We can always add color. Boy, that's holes right in the wrong spot. But you cannot remove color very easily once you get going, okay? So just kind of remember that. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in some black. Now I did quite a bit of brown, but the black is going to be kind of where I made those little marks to kind of show depth. And just let that kind of naturally blend. Because most of what you're going to see on your roof is asphalt shingles, and those are made with tar and gravel, and that's what's protecting your roof. And so we're just going to color that relatively quickly. And again, not like in lower grades where you color everything to the edge. We don't need to do that. We're just trying to show color. Now, like I said, I was going to add a little bit of yellow in there. And the yellow is because you want lighter materials on a roof to help control some of the heat, but not as much as you think. And your eye will catch the yellow, whereas maybe you don't need quite so much on there. Okay, and then where'd my green go? And just a little bit of green. Try not to do too many color mixes, but just to help accentuate. That's okay. So the best thing to do is just kind of look at a picture of a roof shingle and kind of mimic what's in that. Okay. Now while I've got the green, actually I'm gonna go with this and then do the trim. So I'm starting from the top of the house and going down, and then I do the landscaping next. I want a pretty dark trim on this, and I usually don't do white because white is kind of stereotypical, and use white is more to help highlight different aspects. So what I'm going to do with the green here is I'm going to do that fascia board, and I'm going to come in relatively dark with that because it's going to be kind of a trim color. And again, you can choose your green, depends what you've got, or you can do red, you can do burgundy, you can do gray. I'm just going to add that color in now. And put that in on this fascia so it starts to stand out and we can see where that roof is going. Now notice I'm not doing the underside here, I'm just doing the outside of the fascia. So I'm going to, same like back here, I kind of missed that one, didn't I? But this is where I can start to correct a few things and change things up a little bit. And bring that down to there. Okay. Now on the other side, it's probably more of a gray. So I'm going to use underneath here. It seems to be just a gray tone. That's where it would be more white on there. And I'm going to bring that in because it's just kind of the underside. And it will most likely be shadow anyway. So we're going to pull that all in. And a little bit there. Okay. So just adding just a little bit, really fast, quick color. If we decide we want to go with it, we'd add things like markers and those kind of things. Those are kind of pricey. All right, now we're at this. Let's do the brick side first. Get some different colors in there. Brick is going to be red and orange, a little bit of brown. Believe it or not, a little bit of gray, green or blue. But we're just going to do, again, just some quick color in around the little guardrail that was there. And kind of keep your strokes going in the angle of your vanishing points. And back to this side. And I'm basically going a little upside down since I'm trying to keep this so you can see. But again, don't worry about getting every single particle covered in color. That's not what we're looking for here. This is more like mainly because you're just trying to get color down. Now, if your teacher does have the ability, you could do this in watercolor. You can do this in chalks. You can do it in Prisma. Color pencils, you can use oil pastels. It just depends on what your level of comfort with art materials are. And then we're going to come back with some red, orange now. And just kind of fill in primarily areas that are more white than the red. And bring that color in. And get more to that burgundy type color that common brick has. Again, there's lots of colors of brick out there. There's browns and grays. So you can pick your color palette to what you're comfortable with, what you like. But by adding the orange in, we're starting to get more of a brick tone to it. And I think for this one, when I do the brown, I know I said other colors, but I think I want a little more contrast in those colors. Just to kind of darken a little bit. A lot of people use black to darken colors. I like to use blues or browns. They just seem a little more natural, since black is kind of hard to produce. It's not a true natural color. Okay, then I got this set of brick across the top. Those will be a little darker because they're on a different angle than the ends of the bricks instead of the flat sides. I'll throw those in. Alrighty, well, let's go back to our green for the inside trim of the wall here. And since we're doing kind of a green, I'm going to go ahead and do the door in a kind of a lighter green, just so we can keep that motif going. And that may not be the best thing to do and then do grass, but we're going to change it up here just a little bit. So I'm going to get the green in. I'm going to add in a bit of blue. Change it more to a teal. That way. Again, color can be whatever you want. You don't have to match these colors. You can do what you want. That's kind of up to you. All right, so doors. Doors are kind of tricky. For this door, I'm going to go vertical because I want it to look more like a wood door. So that'll be brown. Brown and yellow and maybe some green in there. Maybe some orange to flip pen door. If you want to get the real wood, start with your brown pencil and just do some graining. So it looks woodish. Then lightly color over that. Go through your railing. And we'll do the green trim on here as well. So we'll add that in. And we're starting to get things to kind of happen here a little bit. And we'll switch and we'll add the yellow. I usually go a little heavier with the yellow on the wood. Wood's got more of that sappy yellow in it. And I think I'll do the green trim next. Mark in this window a little tighter. And the trim of the door. Goes up and underneath the roof there. Okay, leave the glass. Might as well do the trim here on this window too while I'm at it. And this one's going to be a little different. The stucco has the trim as well, but we're going to change it out with the color of the stucco here. Now again, you may have the whole house as brick, you may have the whole house as siding, the whole house might be stucco. That is completely up to you. You control what you see, what you're showing. That is, no one should ever tell you what colors to do things. That's up to you. Okay, so if I'm going to do stucco, there's a whole barrage of stucco colors. Cream is probably the most common. So if I'm going to do a cream, it's going to be a light brown. And again, I'm just using a standard set of colored pencils. So if you got more colors, by all means, explore, mix, blend. That's all good. I'm going to kind of rush this one through just a little bit as we get that color in there. And we'll add some yellow to that. Just to kind of soften it down a little bit. And for this one, I'm going to go with a darker stucco trim here to bring that brown and green motif that's going on. And then we have siding. Boy, I don't know what color to do my siding. Let's do a light brown siding as well. Remember, you got your concrete. Don't color that brown. But I'm just going to throw in color here. And I'm going to speed this up just a little bit because this is getting kind of long. And you guys don't need someone telling you how to color. So we'd color that side. Your concrete, use your black and lightly color that so it's kind of a gray. And we're doing everything in layering. So I'm not doing the vegetation to the last. So I'm going to get in all of this concrete stuff. And I use the angle of the color to help give depth as you're doing these. But again, I'm not going to try and cover everything. Let it stay white in places. And now if you are the type of personality that just can't handle that, then go ahead and spend the time on it. But it's It's a study. So I'm not going to come all the way out in the driveway or on the sidewalk. I'm just adding enough color to know that there's something there. So just keep your strokes going in the direction you want the eye to look. Okay. Now, if I'm doing windows, you can do a couple things with windows. So here's technique number one. Still got your black, okay? You can go in and make those windows completely black. Just black them completely out. That's one way of doing it. A lot of architects prefer them blacked out because they don't have to worry about showing detail inside. The other one is to use blue. So I'll do blue here and just show blue in the glass, kind of reflecting the sky. It just kind of really depends on what you feel you like better, black or blue. So we'll do both on this side again just to show you the differences. Again, I still need to do my trim, okay? Now, vegetation-wise, we're then going to go crazy real quick, at least down here. Take a darker green, and we're just in a be old Charlie Brown scribbly here. Because we're not trying to sell trees, we're selling the house. So we'll come out here. Now the circles works pretty good if you like that. You can also do the W's. I just find the circles are faster and they're sufficient for what I need it to do. And again, you can put in your trunks. And I usually just do lines. I don't color tree branches. I just trace lots of lines in there. Just strokes in there, okay, as you're coloring that. Obviously, the grass can be colored as well. That's a lot of green, so we just go super fast with some color and not a lot of detail to it. Just keep it horizontal. And I'll have to go change my angle because the camera's in the road. Get your coloring. And then if you're doing the sky, like the grass, we just want to go enough to know that there's sky around the buildings. So if we're doing the side here, I'll come out a ways. But again, I'm not going to do the whole sky. That's just a lot of extra work. And no one really cares because we're looking at a house. So just kind of, just go right over the tree. I'm not going to try and work around it. It's not an important element. So we're just going to go right over it, throw the color in, and that's about all the sky we do. Now your finalizing thing here, and to finish this up, is to put your lines back in. So hopefully you teacher will have a Sharpie that's a fine tip, and you're going to come back over now, and this is where you can fix all your little problems you had before. And you notice the lines we didn't erase, can't even see them now. We're going to put those lines back in with a straight edge. And we'll just use the black Sharpie or fine tipped pen to recreate the elements of this project you spent the last few days working on, and to get everything a little sharper, a little crisper, and look a little more finished. So hopefully you've found a passion for architecture. There's a lot of work available, especially here in Utah. I don't see that slowing down anytime in the next several years. Should be plenty of work. As our population increases, the need for architects increases. The need for good designers is always on the increase. It's a good profession. I have never been without work. So that's kind of a good thing. So we're just going to add these lines back in and darken up things. Now if you have it and you have multiple thicknesses of black Sharpie, that's better. But again, not required. You can do quite a bit with a fine tip and get things put in the way you need them. Especially if you're going over your waxy pencil, it kind of tends to work out pretty good. Okay. So hopefully that's been good. I'll let you go ahead and continue tracing over all of your lines that are meant to stay. And I hope to see you at some point in the architecture classes at the GTI. We are more than happy to accommodate you and have you as part of our classes there. There's a lot we do and a lot for you to learn. So hopefully that helps. And with that, good luck to you.